afternoon, y'all. We are finally back at Universal. There was a couple more things that I wanted to go over. Possibly a major HHN announcement. If it's what I'm thinking it is, it could be. I'm really curious how Universal is actually going to pull this off. How the creative team might actually pull this off, because some things are just it's matching up, from speculation maps to the permit code names. Everything is just matching up for this one house that I really want to see happen if it is true. But I don't know. It's just really, it's kind of off the wall. But then again, I mean, Wyatt 6 was also really off the wall from last year, but they somehow managed to pull it off. And it was arguably my favorite house. But I want to go over all the new things that I heard about from different rumors, putting two speculation maps together. Also, the tickets for Halloween Horror Nights have gone on sale. Some, at least. I will be talking about that as well. And I also want to make one more stop into the Mardi Gras tribute store, because usually they'll throw in final hints, like any last minute details that can be a hint of what is to come. So I'm going to make one more stop in there, go into Five and Dime one more time, maybe another shop, and if there's any more updates behind the Simpsons in that Sprung Tent area, I'll also be heading back there. But no, this is actually, I'm actually really excited about this, because again, this is the Saturday right before Easter Sunday. So this is going to be the last medallion that we see for Mardi, like the Mardi Gras medallion is the last one that we see before the HHN medallion comes up. And I am so excited for it. I'm so ready. This is probably my favorite time of the year. It's just the anticipation and the build up all the way to HHN, where it's like we, the guests, just try to put this together with this and this and this, and we just try to, it's a guessing game of what is to come, and it's probably, apart from the actual event itself, the best part about Halloween Horror Nights. So yeah, without further ado, let's hop to it. Let's get in there. So I kind of want to come back to this right here, that Black Lagoon brew right there, but also right here, how like on the last video, remember how I was saying that like the picture itself is actually the mastermind behind Creature of the Black Lagoon. The thing that's kind of getting me is that, like, while that's okay, so that's one thing, but still everywhere around here in the Mardi Gras tribute store, you see there's just a bunch of like Legends of the Bayou stuff, right? So technically not the Black Lagoon, but you still see a ton of like some sort of swamp related poster, I guess, or more something of that nature, which makes me think, like, while it's not necessarily a direct correlation, like, you know, the lagoon or swamp, XYZ, what have you, there are still tons of posters saying, like, having at least a little bit of, like, correlation, like synonym, that's the word I'm looking for, synonyms. So, like, you know, Creature of the Black Lagoon versus a swamp, or, you know, the bayou, what have you. So that, I don't know, to me that's kind of saying something. I need to go back and look at the speculation map, but I don't know, that's just one of my thoughts. Alright, so I fear I couldn't find anything else. I mean, all the posters in there seem to be the same. I couldn't find any other hidden items that, like, really really stood out to me compared to last time. I didn't really see anything new that I haven't talked about already. I don't know. And again, there might be something in there that I just haven't seen, that I'm just not seeing, or I mean, I don't know. It's okay. We still have a good bit, but now coming into Five and Dime, they restocked on all the shirts, and they also redid the sides here for the 35th. They sold out of all the posters already. They got a bunch of different sizes, so they have, you know, extra smalls all the way up. Then here on the other side, they have HHN. Some more of the shirts. What are these? Oh, okay. Cool. Nice. And I think if I remember right, yeah, just really quick before I actually talk about that, really quick, you see for the shirt you have 3-5 for the 35th year, 2026. And remember how I was talking about how the house for Jack and Dr. Oddfellow is chaos and control? Take a look at the details on the tent, because like Jack's side, he's more chaos, so obviously his is going to be more beaten, battered, torn, coming down. And Dr. Oddfellow, his is looking a lot more, his side is more elegant, much more put together. And the purple and red really do complement each other surprisingly. I like it. Alright, so another thing I wanted to talk about was going to be a rumor that, or one of the speculations that I saw from Holla Out Horror on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, and the speculation map that they put out has Ozzy Osbourne. Believe it or not, I know it's kind of weird, but they've already done something like that before. They made, I can't remember how many years ago it was, like 4 now, I can't remember. They made a weekend house. They already had a music artist house before. I wouldn't put it past them to make another. But the Ozzy Osbourne house, if I remember correctly, and I want to include a picture of it, was supposed to be in, I believe, Soundstage 24B, which, if you're looking at the Music Plaza here, like the stage and the big, like, turf area in front of it, the stage is here. Soundstage 24B is, like, in that back area, so back right, kind of. And the building permit for it, for this particular house, has the code name Train. So all the building permits for the HHN houses, like this year's theme was like modes of transportation. So you have balloon, train, hearse, wagon, I think was one of them. And for Soundstage 24B, you have the code name Train, which, in my opinion, really kind of helps solidify the rumor. I mean, we all know Crazy Train, right? So, I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. Then the next thing I want to talk about was going to be tickets. Some tickets for Halloween Horror Nights 35 have gone on sale. So right now they have the single night tickets, which start at like 86 starting at, obviously it's going to depend on what night you go and at what time throughout the season you go. But the opening weekend, I want to say that's like if I remember correctly, and I'll probably prove myself wrong whenever I take a picture of the actual pricing, but it's, I think, 120, a rough ballpark, just for those single nights, which means you buy that one ticket for this particular day, and you don't need a Universal Park ticket to get in. Once the event starts, which I think is like usually 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, something like that at night, once the event starts, you come in and you show your HHN ticket, in this case like your single night ticket, and then they'll let you in. Because at that point, it is closed to regular park guests. You won't be able to stay into Halloween Horror Nights because they'll bring everybody out and then let those with HHN tickets in. They also have the Stay and Scream on sale, I want to say. Premium Scream Night. RIP tours as well. But still, they do not have the, what's the word I'm looking for? Any of the frequent fear passes on sale yet. Normally, from what I've seen, they usually go on sale, I think it was the second or third Thursday of June, I want to say, June, July, one of those J months, and they might do that again this year, but then again, like the only reason I'm wondering if they might actually post that sooner is because they've already made one of the house announcements for this year. But then again, that's also only one announcement they've made. They haven't built up or made any sort of official announcement about any other house. So there's no real hype building up to make you, or to give a reason to buy a frequent fear pass. I don't know. I'll be interested to see if they actually start putting out more announcements sooner than later. Because last year it seems like they waited till the absolute last minute, and then it was just back to back to back to back announcements, like week after week. They were making announcements sometimes like twice in one day, kind of thing. But I don't know. With this being the anniversary year, or an anniversary year, the 35th year, and Jack and Oddfellow coming back, I'm sure they're anticipating a very, very large crowd, and I know they know a lot of people are watching their announcements. They might put stuff out earlier, they might not, I don't know, but I'm keeping a close eye on Halloween Horror Nights, like all their pages on as many social media platforms as I can, and trying to come here at least like every other week or so, just to see if there's any sort of construction updates, any new merchandise that has come out that they try to like sneak out before or the day of an announcement. I just haven't heard anything. But yeah, that's where we're at on tickets right now. And again, I just think it'd be so cool, especially if they actually do an Ozzy Osbourne house, because I want to also refer back to Hollowed Out Horror. Last year, that thing, they got, like, their predictions was like 7 out of 10. They got 7 of the houses correct on their prediction. So, I mean, and they tend to have like a 70-80% average or so on their predictions. So, I mean, that's reliable enough for me. Another thing that they talked about was possibly having Texas Chainsaw Massacre come back. I want to see it because this is only going to be my 3rd year, but apparently they have done that house numerous times. Not a lot of people are wanting to see it again. I mean, I think it can still be cool. Stranger Things is still on the board. Obviously, just because the series officially ended, it gives them a reason to do at least one more house to include everything that happened in that final season. I also saw, I believe it was, not Resident Evil, what's the word I'm looking for? No, it might be some video game franchise that I'm probably blanking on right now. I'm going to find it. You'll see it on the speculation map. But I mean, so far everything is looking pretty good for these house predictions. Another one is also going to be the Pumpkin Lord should be coming back, and he was the icon 4 years ago, I want to say. And he's been rumored to be having a house of his own for a few years now, ever since he was an icon that year. So I'm definitely interested to see if that comes true. Also on the speculation map, you'll see in the attractions, that small section on the bottom right, or scare zones, that Club Horror might be coming back. I really hope it does. I mean, that was probably one of the best parts about HHN last year. I can't tell you how many times that I went, I maybe did 1 or 2 houses, and then the rest of the time I just stayed in the Club Horror area, because I mean, they have live DJs that come out, and they're not just playing, they don't have a set playlist that they go through. They're actively up there doing what a DJ does. They actually remix different songs together. They put their own spin on it, and it was amazing. Only problem that I would say was that it was in at the exit area for Fast and Furious, so it seemed like just a walkthrough kind of thing. And the map is predicting that it's going to be in that same spot. I really, really, really hope that they put it in a more, not secluded, but I guess a more dedicated, permanent area where it's in a corner somewhere, where it's not necessarily just a walking path for people to get from this house to the next one, or from this house to the Nightmare Fuel stage, which I'll get to that in a second. I would really love for it to have its own area where, whether it be like I said, in a corner, walkways converge, and that's where it is. So you have a lot more area, and it's not something that people see as okay, this is something cool to walk through. Other thing was, last year, it was rumored that Nightmare Fuel was not coming back because they were not going to be renewing their contract. But again, this same speculation map also shows that Nightmare Fuel might be here. I don't know. They're being rather. They're not really saying. Nope. There's nothing really much coming out about it. Some say it's coming back. Some say it's not. I don't know. I'm curious to see either way. But I think I'm going to head over to the Sprungton area to see if there's any sort of construction updates back there. And then I think that honestly just about covers it. But I need more announcements. I need more announcements immediately. So now I am actually not seeing the Mecha construction truck in the Sprungton area, which means only a couple things. Either, well, actually no, in my mind that can only mean one thing. I don't know why I said a couple things. But to me, that means all of the, I guess, themed construction pieces that'll be required for all the Sprungton houses are there. So now it's just a matter of time for them to actually start building on the inside. So hopefully we'll actually start seeing a little bit of construction movement in the back at those tents, and maybe see some props. Hopefully, fingers crossed, because I mean, you got 4 houses back there. We had like 1 IP last year and then 3 originals, I want to say. Might follow the same, same setup. Might have 1 IP, 3 originals, 2 IPs, 2 originals. Might not, I don't know. The thing is, depending on the size of said IPs or how big they want to go for their original houses, that's really going to limit what goes where. Because while the sprung tent areas are like, they have like 4 back there, they're not exactly the biggest houses. So they really rely, it seems to be, on like confined spaces, lots of turns, and not really big set pieces. So I'm thinking it's not going to be a huge IP if that is what they decide to do. I don't know. I might be totally wrong. I might be blown away by it. But so far, I'm not even seeing like any props out there. I'm not seeing any sort of signs up or anything like that. So it's really hard to say. And again, this is only beginning of April. So, kind of hard to say at this point. And so far, I mean, last year, they still had some string lights up at the Nightmare Fuel stage, or I keep calling it the Nightmare Fuel stage. It's not. That's what I know it as. But last year they did have some of those like circus themed string lights still up from the year before. Now there's just absolutely nothing. Like, it's gutted. They still have the house over here and on that opposite end, but I mean, I don't know. There's been no talks about it whatsoever. There's no confirmed yes or no. Me personally, I really like it. It's a really cool show. It's a good break if you want something different from Scare Zone or going to the houses. Easy way to sit down, except for the actual line portion to wait to get inside. But I don't know. I really hope it comes back. I mean, I think it would be amazing. But talking about like having a good chance to sit down, except for the actual line portion of it, usually starts way back there, loops in towards that little tiny road, comes back in here. All of this area is packed, leading up a little bit into there, and that's where usually they'll stop you. And then same way over here. But oh man, y'all, I need Nightmare Fuel to come back. It is just so cool. It's so cool seeing like everybody like get excited for this one particular part at the beginning of the show, because the way that they normally start, like officially start the show, they'll play Welcome to the Black Parade, but like the Steve Aoki remix. Everybody turns the flashlights on their phone, waves with the music, and it is amazing. Like the vibes are unmatched, and it is so amazing. I just really need this to come back. So now over in the Sahara Traders, it's really interesting because it seems like they left some of the tribute store decorations up from last year. Which, I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing, because it all just kind of fits. This isn't Halloween Horror Nights related. Oh, I'm so hyped for this. And apparently these are going to be the actual cars for the train. So like you'll have the Supra, the R34, RX-7, and the Dodge. Oh, this is going to be a cool coaster. It's going to be freaking sick. And it said like in 2027, late, yeah, there we go. 2027, y'all, I'm so excited about this. So over at the end of the alleyway, so Blues Brothers will do their performance here, turn right, and you got Transformers. Over here at this alleyway, supposedly up in this window is where we'll see a lot of like the hints for Halloween Horror Nights this year on that pegboard back there. So far we have nothing, just that question mark. No idea what that's supposed to mean. Makes my job a lot harder. And also in here is supposedly they'll have a bunch of more hints, whether it be like items or symbols, anything like that. But I mean, I'm not seeing anything. I'm trying to get a good view of everything in there to see if y'all might be able to point something out that I'm missing. But like I'm literally drawing a blank. I got nothing on this. So while I'm thinking about it, there's a Music Plaza stage, but that Soundstage 22, Soundstage 23. So behind, like, you know, Jimmy Fallon right there, kind of tucked back that way a little bit more, is going to be Soundstage 24, where supposedly I'm saying the, you know, the Ozzy Osbourne house might be. All I'm saying is that it kind of makes sense, especially with it having that really odd or very specific like code name for the actual building project, but also it had that, I think it was 22A, Soundstage 22A, no, actually wrong, that's 18. 22's back behind there, I literally just showed it, is going to be the Dr. Oddfellow versus Jack the Clown house. So last year, that was, like, this whole queue was actually for El Artista, and this year, that is confirmed to be for Jack versus Oddfellow, Chaos and Control.